Hello there, Wibber here, and today I'm going to be showing you a mod called the Crossbow mod, which adds loads of different varieties of crossbow into Minecraft, and you can pretty much mix and match how you want to make your crossbow. So there's 5 core kinds of crossbow. I mean, you've got the usual wood, stone, iron, gold and diamond crossbows, and then you can customize them with different mechanisms and different ranges and different attachments on the end of the crossbow. So you can have like a flame attachment which makes flaming arrows and stuff like that, or flaming crossbow bolts, because that's what you fire out of crossbows. But the first thing I'm going to show you is how you can actually craft all these different kinds of crossbows. And for that you're going to need something called a crossbow crafting bench. And to craft this, all you're going to need is 5 wood planks and 3 iron ingots, as well as a crafting table. So quite a cheap crafting recipe, should have no problems at all getting the stuff required to make this. And if I go over here, you can see what it looks like. It's got a really lovely texture, kind of looks like a chest of drawers or something like that. Bit peculiar, but there we go. That's the crossbow crafting bench. And if I right click on it, you're going to notice I've got a whole new GUI here, and it's got 10 slots. And this is the core area, and these are just the attachments. So you put attachments like the flame crossbow attachment in here, like that, and it adds it to the crossbow. But to make any crossbow you're going to need 3 sticks, and those aren't exactly hard to make. But now I'm going to show you how you can actually craft the other elements of the crossbow that you're going to need to make one. So first up we've got the crossbow limb, and to craft a crossbow limb all you're going to need is 3 sticks and 3 of either wood, iron, stone, all those usual lot of course. And basically as you increase the rarity of the material you use to actually craft a limb, it basically just increases the range of the crossbow and also the power and damage it does and stuff like that. So here we go, every time you craft one of these it actually gives you 3 of the limbs, and you're going to need 5 of them of course to craft the crossbow, so you're going to have to do that 2 times. But next up we've got the crossbow mechanism, and I'm going to show you how you can craft the basic one, although you can get more advanced with it and make some really cool looking ones like a triple shot one. But to craft the basic crossbow mechanism we're going to need 5 bits of cobble, 2 sticks, 2 bits of string, and there you go, you've got your basic crossbow mechanism. And then last but not least you're going to need something called a crossbow bolt, and you've probably seen these in real life. They're just like metal rod kind of things, if I'm remembering it right, and you just put those in your crossbow to fire it. And you're not going to be able to use your crossbow unless you have these, so it's really important that you actually craft these. And to do that all you need is a stick and then the material you want to craft the bolt out of above it. And then each time you craft one of these you actually get 8 bolts out of them, so that's kind of cool. So now I'm just going to show you how you can put them all together. And why is there a chicken standing on our chest? Evil chickens, plotting to kill us all. Now he's turning away from me. He's like, nope, not talking to you. But anyway, to craft a crossbow, I'm just going to show you now. This is just a basic wooden crossbow I'm showing you. You put the wood limbs around here, and then you put your basic crossbow attachment at the end, and there you go, you've got your wooden crossbow. And I'm just going to give you a demonstration of how you fire it now. All you have to do is hold it and then right click in the general direction of where you want to fire it. So there we go. And you can see because we've only got a wooden one, the range is really crap, and it doesn't do much damage, so it's not really that good. So next up I'm going to be showing you the different mechanisms that you can actually apply to your crossbow, and you probably saw this earlier with the wooden crossbow I was showing you, but I'm going to go into this with more detail now. So with the basic crossbow mechanism, you can't actually just hold down right mouse button to actually keep firing the arrows. You have to keep pressing it over and over again to keep firing the arrows. So if I hold down right mouse button, you can see it only fired 1 shot and then it's just stopped. If you want to keep holding down the right mouse button to keep firing, you're going to need something called an automatic crossbow mechanism, and there's 3 different versions of this. We've got the light version, the medium version and the heavy version, and as you go from the light version to the heavy version it just increases your firing rate. So I'm just going to give you a comparison now. So this is the light version of the automatic mechanism, and you can see it's firing quite fast but not really that good. And if you swap to the medium version it's a bit faster. And then the awesome one, which just unleashes a barrage of arrows on everything. I mean, you can just keep firing this really rapidly, and it's really good for close combat situations when you've got like mobs trying to kill you, and you just want to dispatch of them as fast as possible. You can just unleash hell on them. Wow, it's evil. What happened to that chicken anyway? Did it die? No, it's run away. I wanted to kill it. Oh well. So last but not least we've got my favourite one, which is the tri-shot mechanism, which basically fires 3 arrows like at different angles out of the end of your crossbow. And yeah, and I've just going to mention that the reason I've actually got flame arrows is because I've got a flame crossbow attachment, and I only applied this to this one specifically so you could actually see where the arrows are going. It's really good for demonstrating the tri-shot. There we go. And the arrows are actually going out of maximum render distance for items in Minecraft, so they are continuing, they don't just disappear, don't worry about that. So yeah, that's all the different mechanisms that you can actually apply to your crossbows. So the next thing I'm going to show you are the crossbow attachments, which are basically little attachments that you add onto your crossbow when you craft it to make the crossbow bolts do different things to the ground or any mobs you happen to hit with the arrows. So the first attachment is the explosive crossbow attachment, and this basically makes mobs fly up and also has a little explosion on the ground around wherever you fire it. So if I fire it at this creeper, you can see the mob flies really high into the air, so we make flying creepers, probably not a good thing. And there you go, dead flying corpse of a creeper. Something you really want to see every day. But yeah, you can use it to make mobs fly, so you know, you could just fire at a pig and then you have flying pigs. Brilliant! And also if you fire it at the ground, it makes a little explosion, hopefully. Or does it? There we go. Okay, that was not quite a little explosion. Oh yeah, I forgot, when you fire at the ground, it actually has a little time delay before it explodes. So it's about 3 seconds, and then it explodes. So yeah, and now I've just completely ruined this ground and terrain. It's horrible. Oh well. I didn't really expect it to have that big an impact. I thought it was going to be like a small diddy explosion, but no, it's a huge explosion. So there we go, those are the explosive crossbow attachments. But next up we have the frost crossbow, and if you fire this one at the ground, it just places down snow, like that. It doesn't turn water into ice, sadly. I did try that earlier, and sadly it doesn't. But if you fire it at mobs, it has a different effect. I was actually hoping it'd put like an ice block around the mob and completely stop it moving, but what it actually does is give a slowness effect on the creeper, and it's a really extreme slowness effect. I think it's slowness 5 or something, so the creepers really can't move anywhere at any rate of knots. And also, if you're being chased by spiders, for example, you could fire this at these spiders and they wouldn't be able to catch up with you at all, and that would be a really good way of getting away if you had really low health without having to stop and kill them all. So yeah, that's the frost crossbow. But also, this could be quite useful if you're fighting the Ender Dragon. I don't actually know if slowness effects affect the Ender Dragon, but if they did, you could use this on the Ender Dragon and it wouldn't be flying away from you so fast, and you'd be able to line up some clear shots and kill it much more efficiently. But next up we've got the lava crossbow attachment. I don't know why I've put diamond crossbow, that's a bit misleading, but this is actually the lava crossbow attachment. So if I fire it at the ground, you can see we placed down lava, and that was probably a really bad idea. Now it's just going to ruin the whole world. No, damn lava, it's really hard to clean up as well. But if you fire it at mobs, all it does is set the mobs on fire, and then they slowly burn to death, and you can watch and laugh at them. So yeah, that's the lava attachment. And no, it's not a diamond crossbow, I was just really derpy when I wrote that sign, obviously. But next up we've got the lightning crossbow, and no surprises for guessing what this one does. If I fire at the ground, there we go, we get a lightning strike coming down. There we go, there it is. It wasn't rendering when I fired it there, that was a bit peculiar. Whoa, it's getting really bright around there. I'm sorry for the brightness of this, it's kind of surprising. But if I fire at a mob, again, you get a lightning strike down, and sadly I've ended up turning that creeper. Whoa, suddenly an Enderman. He just like, yep, hello, I'm here, and he just walked away. That was completely video bombing, horrible Enderman. But you can see the creeper actually turned into a supercharged creeper, so I wouldn't really recommend using this at close range with creepers, because if they then explode, you're going to have a whole different situation than you did before if you'd have just left it without actually hitting it with anything. But next up we've got the two different kinds of scope crossbows. We've got the basic and the long range scope crossbow. So if I just show you the basic one now, all it does is give you a little circle kind of thing to aim with. It's a bit pointless really, because you can quite clearly see where you're aiming with the crosshair in the middle of your screen normally. So yeah, it's a bit pointless, but it just makes it a little bit more like an FPS game really, when you scope in with your gun. So there we go, just kill this creeper for no apparent reason, but you just hate creepers, so we're just going to kill it. So next up we've got the long range version of the scope, and basically to use this, you just have to right click, then all you have to do is use your scroll button on your mouse and scroll up and down to zoom in, and there we go, you can zoom into a maximum of 5 and then zoom out to 0 again. So it's really good if you want to shoot mobs at far away. Can I? No, I can't kill that creeper, that's for the next demonstration, but you can just zoom into the distance and fire in a very specific shot. So yeah, that's the long range scope crossbow attachment. That's a lot of words to explain an attachment actually. But next up we've got the poison crossbow, and this basically applies a poison effect to any mobs that you hit. It does nothing to the ground of course, but when you hit that's a really weird glitch. The arrow is just like floating in midair. Sorry, it's not an arrow, it's a bolt, but there we go. So you can just shoot mobs, and you can see it's got like that potion effect of poison, which slowly ticks down and kills the mob. So quite effective if you just want to fire once at a mob, and it will slowly over time finish it off, and then it will die. But next up we've got the torch crossbow, and this one, when you fire at the ground, actually places down a torch. And I think a really good use of this is if you actually combined it with the tri-shot mechanism, and then you'd be able to fire into the distance 3 torches, and they'd light up an area at range, and you wouldn't have to worry about walking over there and lighting up the area manually. So yeah, and also it does nothing really to mobs, nothing special about that. Actually, I need to spawn some more creepers, because my creepers have despawned. They're just like, no, I'm not waiting for you to kill me anymore, I'm off. I have children. But I don't think these creepers actually have children, but I'm just saying that so it makes me feel a bit more evil while I'm killing them. So yeah, if I fire this at the creeper, yep, actually, no, I've just fired the poison one, but no, the torch ones do nothing. Actually, do the torch ones do any damage? No, the torch ones don't do damage at all, so don't try and attack mobs with a torch attachment actually, because it's just not going to end well for you. But last but not least, we've got the flame crossbow, and if I fire this at the ground, it actually just puts down fire. So we've got a fire block here, and I can walk in it like, yeah, I'm into fire, brilliant. But yep, that's what it does to the ground, and if you fire it at mobs, pretty much similar to the lava attachment, it just sets the mob on fire and it slowly burns, and you can laugh at it as it dies. Mwah. Okay, that was a terrible evil laugh, just ignore that, just die creeper. Yeah. Does it actually replace blocks? It does. Okay, that's a new mechanic I didn't know before. You just fire it and it replaces any block you fire it at. So I could just like dig down. Could I dig down? No, it's not working. But I could get rid of the wall like that. Whoa, random terrain glitch. But yep. So that pretty much sums it up for the attachments. You can just add them onto your crossbow while you're actually crafting it. So if you just go back over here, I'll give you a demonstration of how you can actually add it to your crossbow. So I'm just going to use some diamond limbs here, along with some sticks. And I'm going to use the tri-shot mechanism and then combine it with, let's say, the torch, so I can give you a demonstration of that. And there you go, that's where you put the attachments, and then you craft yourself a crossbow with that attachment and the mechanism that you've applied to it. So I could now fire over there, 3 torches, and there we go, it's placed down 3 torches on the sides and on top of blocks. I think that's pretty much sums it up for the crossbow mod. I just really love how you can combine loads of different kinds of mechanisms, attachments, and different kinds of limbs together to change everything about your crossbow to make it unique to you, or unique to the purpose you want to use it for. It's quite a cool mod, really. And just to give you a visual representation of how many different crossbows there are, look at all those. That's insane amounts. I might have shown you this earlier, but just look at them all again. It's brilliant. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is the crossbow mod, and I'll see you next mod video.